Kia ora, welcome back again. Hey, here for part 5 of Mr. Shipley's interview on the Shawn Ryan show. I'm just going to keep chipping away at this. Bear with me as I go through those. Appreciate your time. So let's jump back in part 5. And play. Oh, that's right. I think they were having a break, so I'm going to look to try to skip while the video is still recording. I don't even know what those were. So they are gummy bears. All right. So from the other reactions when I didn't know what those were, I can see it written on there now. So the Vigilance Elite Gummy Bears. I bet they're pretty nice. I feel like some lollies now. I wonder if that was DJ that snatched.
All right, DJ. So we're back from your first deployment, and it's 2007. I think you're 22 years old now, and you're getting ready to go back to Iraq again for a second time.
Yep.
And you found yourself in somewhat of a historic firefight that's been talked about a lot. So I'd love to get your take on what happened and how that deployment went.
Yeah, kind of leading up to that, we'll kind of segue back to it. We, on our turnover route, when we first flew in there, so we had our platoon, our sister platoon, and we were relieving SEAL Team 4. So that was Mike Day's platoon. So our turnover route with our sister platoon is when Mike Day's incident happened. He got shot 27 times.
Shit.
That's how we kicked off the deployment.
That's how it's
Shot 27 times. Holy heck.
started.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hey, man.
So we had one of the guys in the sister platoon got shot, got medically retired, took a crazy round through the arm, and it had a bunch of nerve damage, and it balled his hand up. He's out, and he was one of our corpsmen too. He's an awesome dude. So we automatically lost him, and we basically just combined forces.
Were you on that operation?
I wasn't. That was
No?
our sister platoon, and it was one of the handover routes. So it was Team 4 heavy, and then a little bit of Team 10. The HQ element, a couple of senior guys just to see how he did business. These are what the routes are like. This is what the target set's like. And it just so happened they were going after an AQ cell that had just shot down a Marine helo. So they had all their guns, had their body armor, had helmets, had night vision, had the whole thing.
Fuck.
So we kind of rode that wave pretty much the whole deployment. It was super busy, a different area, working for the West Coast teams. So it was great. We were busy, like super busy. And it felt like how I thought it would feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Like this is what you envisioned when you joined?
Like even some of the animosity stuff, like we'd go to the chow hall and they'd bitch about it because we'd come in wearing tank tops, and now you got to wear, like, even the stuff we would complain about, it made you feel like, I feel like a Navy SEAL now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm in a strike force. Like, this is how it's supposed to feel. Like, we're gelling, we're going out every night. Like, this is what it is. But the reality hadn't set in yet on what we're actually doing, because it hasn't happened to you yet. So it's not a real thing.
Yeah.
A couple months in that deployment, we're steady, engaging with the enemy. It's fine. And one night we go out and we're in a really bad section.
Where were you guys at?
Just outside of Fallujah, but we were operating this little town called Karma.
Okay.
And it was good, but
Badlands there around Fallujah. Like many stories, lots of stuff on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And that was still all the talk of the town. Even when I had gotten out of the unit and was working private security sector in and out of Baghdad, predominantly over there. So, yeah, a lot of nasty business happening in and around Fallujah, where Mr. Shipley is.
A lot of palm groves, a lot of nasty shit out there. We were not trained to do. So kind of come into play later about our inexperience. But one night we do an offset infill. We're patrolling a target, and We get about 200 meters out, and you could see the entire posture shift of everybody in that assault force. Everybody switched. You could smell it. Like, this is a fucking ambush. Like, it just is. Walking down the road, the houses we were walking past, like, you were waiting. It was a breath hold the entire way. And I say that because people started doing things they've never done before. The pace they were moving, we've never moved at that pace before. When we would do patrolling and training, like, there's a lackadaisical patrol and there's a patrol to contact. Like, we're gonna get hit right now. Everybody was in patrol to contact mode. Like, it's happening right now. You're waiting for a trade to throw RD sims and kick the whole thing off. Like, it's right there. And I remember the last 50 feet sprinting to the building. They had a big overhang, and we've been getting ISR updates. There's multiple guys on a roof. You're like, okay. So as we patrol up, there's a bunch of guys in the courtyard of this, and it's an Iranian influenced cell that we're kind of going after now, and they fight completely different. We lock down some guys on these sleepers out in the courtyard, and we maneuver up. Made silent entry. We go in, we're doing our whole clearance, and I bolt straight for the stairs. It's a huge open room. I don't know how to describe it. Just a huge open room with little offshoot bedrooms. Made no sense to be a house. It's like a structure. And they had a 2-tier landing that came up and banked, and then it basically just opened into the roof. Just an opening in the middle of the roof, and you walked up and you're surrounded 360, 720 by the roof. Stacked up the train and got it right there, right at the last little breach of it. So I'm about this high underneath it. And I stood up and threw on my laser, and there was a dude sprinting at me at full blast with a pistol in his hand and unloaded 6 shots at me.
No shit.
Yeah, so he unloaded. I unloaded on him, got off 3 rounds in a bolt lock. So dropped to my knees, and we called exfil. Ran around the back. Everybody got their guns up and running, and grenades started coming off the roof. So in rally, what had happened is...
So hold on. Did you eliminate the threat?
Yep.
He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't hit you?
He did.
Oh, hang on.
He did hit you.
He hit me in the chest plate and one of the magazines.
Sorry, I'm going to pause it there quickly. I'm glad I unpaused it just to hear, but I love that Shawn jumped in and goes, wait a minute, hold up. Did you eliminate the threat? Yeah, and he did. I sort of assumed that DJ did and would have anyway by that stage or before then, but I'm glad that Shawn has asked the question. And then he's followed up, did he hit you at all? So the guy's unloaded 6 rounds into DJ's direction, and he's just said it hit him, in the chest plate and through one of the magazines. Far out, man. That's nuts. And then the grenades getting lobbed off the side, I presume, by AQ or Al Qaeda onto his team members. But let's get back into it in here.
So pistol caliber, like 45, dead center. Dead center. So snagged me there, which I don't know how he did it with a downward angle because that was presented. So blind luck, snagged me in the plates. We're good. I don't know where the other 5 went. I don't know how they didn't hit anybody else. But I mean, he was probably within 6 feet. I mean, he was there.
Holy.
What you didn't realize, in the ISR update we did not get, is he was standing at the base of the stairs waiting. They never told us that. He's standing there waiting for us to come up. And there is another shooter in a sandbag position with a belt fed, a PK, aimed at the top of the stairs. And he's pulled off a suicide vest and laid it at the base of the stairs and pulled back a command wire. And you can see him. He's holding it. He's waiting to clack it off. And we never know. So if I would have made entry, if I shot that dude and would have continued to go, that guy would have cut me in half. So just blind luck that I got bolt lock and I forced to retreat. So we start trading grenades on the roof back and forth. A bunch of different maneuver elements are happening. We've got 3 or 4 guys that are fragged from the grenades, our chief included.
I have to pause it there. I'm grateful that he had the bolt lock, as bad as that may sound. Glad that he neutralized the threat first, dropped them, and then, that bolt lock's happened for him, or stoppage, I'm presuming, why he's retreated back. And just, man, I don't know, I wonder why or who was getting the comms updates from the ISR, the Intelligence, Surveillance and Reconnaissance yeah, it seems strange that they're not getting that information or that comms haven't come through. But judging by some of the other reactions that I've done and just the communication when they lost a whole bunch of friends on the previous reaction that I did, maybe it's not surprising that that's happened, but it shouldn't happen, and it's calls it blind luck. But I think there's clearly that wasn't the path that he was meant to go, and thankfully he didn't, because would have been ripped in half had he gone down that route. So far out, man, this is crazy. Anyway,
like a Corman or Terp or JTAC, so a bunch of guys, not bad, but bad enough. I mean, it's your first time being wounded, like, takes you by surprise. Like, you hear wounded eagle, it's like, oh no, like how bad? You instantly think the worst. But we had to win the fight. So we're trading grenades on the roof. We're doing that whole thing. And one of the guys wanted to send one of the mams from the courtyard. He grabs him, perfect English. He's like, I know who that is. Oh yeah? And he's like, it's my cousin. Like, Terp tells him again, like, send that dude up there and tell him to tell his cousin to come down here. Like, we don't know who's up there. The slant was really weird that night with how many women and kids were supposed to be there. It was bad intel. It was kind of just hodgepodge. And we sent that dude back up there. And he's calling out to his cousin, whatever he's saying. And he got halfway up the stairs and poked his head up. And that dude let it go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Killed his own cousin. And here we go. More grenades are coming off the roof. So the whole force now, we're basically locked down inside of this building and grenades are coming off. We don't know how many dudes are on the roof. And now there's multiple maneuver elements of bad guys in and around the city. We have to fall back now. We got a super badass new guy that posted up with a saw. Basically, everybody wants that opportunity. Rock the front of this building so we can all run underneath it. That dude stepped out and just whoa, 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 sent it. We all ran back and we got our first fire mission in, like a first like no shit fire mission.
Damn.
So that was cool. I didn't know I'd been hit yet.
You didn't know you've been hit yet?
Mm-mm. I had no idea. I kept having a bolt lock, so I'd fire 3 rounds, bolt lock. I dumped out a mag, grabbed a new one, and when I did, it cut my fingers. So where the round hit it, it had blown out the back of it, like a big spider web. So when I grabbed it, it filleted my hands open. So I dropped the mag, grabbed a new one, got the gun back up and running. And for whatever reason, I grabbed it off the ground and put it in my back pocket. Like, I don't know why I did it. I did it. So when we got back on the helo, we're flying out after that whole thing. We got all the medevac guys out. They were fine, minimal injuries, nothing crazy. We're flying back on the helo, and I'm sitting next to Jay Redmond, and I held up the mag, and I'm trying to focus it with my nods back and forth, and I don't know what it is. Like, it never even entered my conscious thought that I took a round there.
Damn.
I didn't know what it was. Put it back in my pocket, and we get back to the ready room, and we're going in for the debrief. And I dropped my gear, and I looked at it, and it's still in disbelief. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I hand it to one of the other guys, and he's like, that's a fucking bullet, dude. Oh, that is a bullet. That is a bullet. Dead center. But it was weird when you look at the bullet and the angle it came into. We did a lot of breaching back then. We landed a lot. I used to run around with the charges capped in, and I had them all capped in, and I had my primary charges in a pouch right there, and it nicked the edge of the pouch where the caps were exposed to. So obviously, if it would have hit that blasting cap, that would have been a hole.
Damn.
That would have been a bad day.
So for the audience, just real quick, I'm just going to interrupt. When he's talking about the caps being exposed, basically a breaching charge is a bomb, that they use to blow a door, blow a hole in the wall, blow whatever up. And the blasting caps are extremely sensitive. So if that would have hit one of those, it would have been the end of the road for you.
Stoked, man, that I was just about to think, because I wasn't sure if he was going to say anything, but yeah, Captain, like the charges, the primers, the caps are in there ready to go. All you got to do is just release the bail and bang that thing, and it's gonna go off. The fact that those caps didn't get or they come very close to being struck, had they been struck, it would have detonated on him with his gear. So that's the that's the risk with that stuff, but that's also comes with a lot of training and experience and understanding the mission and the task that they're going into. Like they're going in, like he said at the start, they could feel it. The whole energy changed as they're going in. They're advancing the contact. They know that something is just not right. That something is about to happen, and whether that's a sixth sense or whatever the case might be, you spend a long enough time training, you spend long enough in different environments, you start to get develop a bit of a sense and a feel for things when things aren't quite right. Probably be no different to hunters out when they're going out bush, getting a bit of an understanding and a feeling of the land when sign is particularly good, whether it's whatever it is that you're hunting at that time, and then having an understanding of when you're pretty close to a potential animal that you might be stalking to take out. And then also, sort of no difference to here, and there's likely many other situations, professional drivers, pilots, etc., that probably develop a type of sense or a feeling when something just doesn't feel quite right. So, message coming through. So, hearing DJ talk about that, man, and then just that whole incident and that contact that took place, and the cousin, how's the AQ cousin taking out his cousin? I suppose wasn't happy that he was helping the Americans, I guess, but just didn't care. He's there for the cause or whatever their cause is or was at that time, and it didn't matter if it was his cousin or not. He was going to take whoever that was out, and he did. Mad.
Yeah, we were running on big charges and we blew everything. We blew everything. That was the SOP back then. If you could blow it, you blew it.
So you didn't even fucking feel. You didn't even feel the fact that you got fucking pegged by a 45 in the chest plate.
So thinking back on it, the guys behind me said they saw.
Probably because his chest was so big. But no, he is a unit. Crazy. Actually, he's just about to talk about it now. So let's see what he says.
Take a reflex.
Pegged by a 45 in the chest plate.
So thinking back on it, the guys behind me said they saw me. Like, take a reflex. I didn't feel it. The next morning, when I stood up and I arched back, it felt like I did too many sit-ups, like sore in the sternum, kind of hard to take a full breath, but nothing like what you'd imagine. Like I imagined I would have known instantly, like, oh my God. I didn't. The adrenaline was so high that's kind of what we use for like a training analogy now. Like when that adrenaline dumps, you won't know.
Yeah.
You won't know. Like in a proximity, a gunfight that is that close, where you see muzzle flash and you feel it, it's very different. It's not being shot at from 300 meters. It's not hitting the wall. It's inside of 6 feet. It's a very different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been shot. I don't know, what that feels like, but I always imagined it would knock you on your fucking ass.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it didn't.
Yeah. No shit.
So yeah, we got through that one. That was like reality is set in now. And it's like, okay, all the stuff in training now everything is slowed down. The CQB is super crisp now. It's all real world. We're very current and it's good. Like business is great. We're going out every night, every other night. We've got assets. It's awesome. As good as it ever could have been. And we.
All right, I got to pause. Just hearing him speak about that, man, that's what you envisage when you join a special forces unit, that you get to go out and do jobs like that with a mission, with a purpose, to try to make a difference, to try to get the targets or the people that could potentially help you get information to try to disrupt and try to destroy, basically, from any further bad things happening, for want of a better term, or trying to put it as simply as possible. And just hearing him speak about that and what they've got, and it's awesome, man. Yeah, I bet that was awesome. That's what people going for. I never had the opportunity. We didn't have that when we went into Iraq. We were out in the desert at that time. We went into Baghdad doing hits and raids like what these guys were doing, and I believe the Brits as well, 2-2. So yeah, for me personally, I don't mind sharing it from my side. Like that's not having the opportunity to be a part of something like that and do those types of raids and hits. Yeah, it's wish I could have, would have loved to, but yeah, just wasn't meant to be for my time in the unit. And that is what it is, and that's okay. But yeah, I can, I just, even more respect, like the respect is still there, but probably not so much respect because it's always there. It's more, and not envy either. It's just like admiration, I guess, is where I'm coming from. It's like, man, that's so cool that they got to do that. Not in a morbid, like just want to go out and kill people way. That's not what I mean. And hopefully it doesn't come across that way. But those that, have spent a lot of time in a tier 1 unit, training, they've gone through selection cycle, etc. There's a number of people that haven't actually deployed that have made it to those units, but they've been, they've laid the foundation for guys like me and other people, generations after, to go through and get into that unit based on the work that they've done, so they can, absolutely hold their heads high. But I know it's sort of, I'm using that as an analogy or as an example of how they would feel. They would have been envious of people like me that come in, went there long, then deploying on operations, and then, I hear and see this, and maybe they're not envious. Sorry, I've used the wrong word. Maybe maybe it's admiration as well. I don't know, but mine is a definite admiration for DJ and the team, his team, of what they got to do, and doing that type of work, working those types of packages, having those types of assets at their disposal to support them, as they should have those anyway. So yeah, awesome. And you can see the look on his face, the memories that are there, and he's like, yeah, it was awesome. I bet.
We go back. This is so the firefight you were referencing was the one with Jay Redmond and those guys. That was September 10th. So almost on the anniversary. And everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, but in a positive way. Zero loom. There wasn't an ounce of moonlight out, nothing. And for the guys that don't run around with night vision, those things aren't perfect. They're not, man. You don't have any ambient light out there. Like, they don't work very well. They just don't. So we were going back to the exact same spot.
Hey, you should see the generation versions that NZ and Australia had, like. So for DJ to be saying that, and the fact that they've got the latest gear as it comes, that sort of gives you an idea of I think we might have been Gen 3 at one stage. I remember Gen 3, that was when I was in the Australian regiment. I think Connect the Americans might have been at Gen 10 or 12 or 15 or something like that. It was funny, actually. Sorry, off topic. I was talking with some my children that are in the army. They're talking about their weapons and the lasers. And I was like, oh, yeah, what do you do now? Like, we had the PIC 2. I see the PIC 2 on the rifle. This is what they were when I was there. And he goes, oh, we have the PIC 15s now. I cracked up. We both started cracking up. I was like, oh, bloody hell. That just shows how far it's advanced and how long I've been out. But yeah, it was a PIC 2 at the time when I was in. And they had these other ones called a NAD, a NAD, night aiming device from memory. Those things are even more blinking primitive and basic. They were all right. They were decent for what we had at the time, and thought, oh man, these are cool. Then we got the PIC 2s and like biff those NADs. They were rubbish. And just to hear my boy say, oh, you got PIC 15s now. Holy, I just cracked up. And then he just started laughing too, because he'd been thinking, geez, back in the dinosaur age, Dad. Not that bad, but yeah, anyway. Hopefully that put a smile on your face. Anybody that's been there and or even before my time that probably got other things, and then those that would have had no NVGs. So, just the progression that's been taking place, which rightly needs to take place. It's an awesome thing, but definitely makes me laugh when I think about where they're at now with the technology and equipment.
2 houses down from where that thing happened. So we called it the Karma House. Like, bad karma, here we go. And
bad juju is what one of the Australian operators used to say. That's bad juju.
We were going to land on the X, going to blow the front door and take this thing down hard. That's what we did back then. So flying helos right to the front door, and this is what we're doing. And we knew from past experiences exactly what kind of resistance we were going to meet, and we planned for the worst. Like, I went in on that thing completely knowing in that first room I was going to get shot.
Damn.
Like, they had belt feds, they had suicide vests. Like, these guys are committed for sure. If we go in right now, that first room is going to be sketchy. And we landed on the X and we ran through that thing like we've done a million other times, and there was no one there. Dry hole. And then we get an update that all those guys had left and had ran out the back. And now they are in adjacent, essentially a cornfield. But if you imagine an endless field of nothing, just a plowed field. And then right in the middle of it is about 500 yards of 6 foot tall, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like straw, but it's not. I mean, you can't see anything. And they're trying to walk us down on top of this guy. So we all switch over. It's probably 6 or 7 of us. And we all get online and we're all starting to walk down. We've all switched over to fires and we're listening. And 2 of the new guys and 1 of the EOD guys had not switched over to fires. We literally interlocked arms. That's how bad it was. You couldn't see shit. We couldn't lose anybody inside there. We'd never walked through the palm groves before. We didn't have a dog. We didn't have the experience. And looking back on it, it's one of the most dangerous things I've ever done, because you knew the guy in there had a gun, like for sure. You knew that they run around with SBS, and you know they're committed. So now we are walking on there. So if you imagine just a big open field with a big sparkle in the center of it, and we're going to walk towards it. And we're going to walk until we find this guy. Okay. So we do. Completely committed, interlocked arms, and we are walking forward, and we're getting the updates. 15 feet. 10 feet. You're standing on him. And you see everybody looking down like, he's not here. Third person from the right, you are standing on him. And we all look over to the right. Nothing. Like, what the fuck? So we're all on a line, standing right there. And Jay calls an audible. He's like, whole maneuver element, take a right-hand turn, because we know there's an open field. We just have to cross, and now it's completely open. Now we can regather our shit, and we can assault from this side. If it's walking through all this crazy brush, we can approach it from the open side and just walk in the brush a little bit, maybe call him out, do something else. And when we turn right, this element stayed. They didn't get the word. So now we have a bad guy, our element, and then another element. Now we're in a Polish ambush. We turn, we walk out, and we enter this beautiful manicured open field. There's not an ounce of cover anywhere in it. There's not a rut. There's nothing. There's not a rock. There's a single tire, and it's about 20 feet, 30 feet from the edge of the brush line. It's just out there, and we're standing there in a team guy gaggle, standing around like wondering, what the fuck? Is this guy really there? Is it a dog? Is it some animal? Like, these guys are clearly lost. And we don't realize that that bad guy is in there, probably 6 feet inside, and he's looking at us. And we're from me to the wall, and we're close. We're having a full-on conversation. And at one point, we're trying to relay to the other guys, because now we know we've lost 3. Now they're lost in brush country. We have to reconsolidate them so we can deal with this guy, because now we know the reality. We've turned the entire profile. Blue forces, bad guy, blue forces. We've got all the rest of the guys over here on the west side. And now we're trying to do a link up. Like, we have to get them around to reconsolidate with us. The blue force picture and knowing where everybody is it's challenging at times, but you really have to know then. We basically walked right up to the edge. It's Jay's there, our corpsman, our terp, the JTAC, and a guy we'll just call Matty is standing there with me, and we're all in kind of a team guy gaggle. And Jay hears something in the bushes, and I think he believed at the time it was the guys, and he screamed out, "Hey!" And when he did, that dude let off the biggest Hollywood belt-fed burst I've ever heard.
Oh,
and
shit.
Everybody dropped. It was like we used to do the new guy scenarios. You know, you're doing land warfare, the first contact, and all the head shed dies. Just, and now you got to drag around like, playing war games. That's what it was like. Everybody hit the deck. And there was a tree probably 30 feet that way. And I remember I turned, I heard it, watched them drop, and I was sprinting so fast to that thing. I remember the dust kicking up in front of me when he was tracking me. I dove behind the tree, and he pounded on that tree for what seemed like an eternity. I was on my back looking up. I mean, you can imagine, helmet's cockeyed, there's no ambient light, I can't see shit through my nods, and there's just dirt blowing all over me. I mean, I am consumed by this. I don't even know where he's at now. I don't know if he's on his feet chasing me down, like I'm just overcome with withering fucking fire. And then it stops, and he pans back over and he starts to engage the dudes. This thing goes on for a little bit, and we're trying to reconsolidate. The JTAC has went out, and he's trying to grab people now. He's behind a tire. I remember looking over and seeing Jay, and I remember him sitting upright, and I watched him get shot one more time, right in the face, and it looked like that was it. He hit the ground so hard, you knew he was dead. So there's an audible that has to be made. We have the JTAC, and behind this tractor tire, and I mean, it's a tractor tire. It's not big. It's about that and a half the ground. Serves no purpose. And he's behind it, and I'm directly adjacent from him looking at him. Like, I have an out this way. Well, you can't, because we have all these dudes that are shot up. And I remember it was like the scene from Black Hawk Down. Come to me. Fuck you. Come to me. Ready? Yep. And I got up and I ran as fast as I could, and I dove like a baseball slider in behind that thing. And it was such a sigh of relief to feel another human next to me. I was so thankful that he was there. And now we have to figure out how to get out there and bring those people back here. And this whole thing's happening very, very fast. So Jay's been shot multiple times. He's discombobulated. He's talking. And this guy's still trying to shoot him, but he can't see shit because it's black. So if you're quiet, he can't hear you. The bravest thing I have ever seen in 17 years happened on that night. I watched Matty get up and run forward after he'd already been shot and grab our corpsman and is dragging him backwards, just like on the movies. Corpsman pulls out his pistol and is shooting into this bush line. And Matty gets shot again. Boom, spins him around and dumps him. He gets back up, grabs him, and gets shot again. Dumps him, and he gets back up and continued to drag him back until we got them all back to the tractor tire. You know, we're all pulling them in there, and we basically just dogpiled on them, just plates on plates, just trying to build up a human wall to not let these people be shot again. And he's still shooting at us the entire time. He hasn't let up. He just doesn't know where we're at now. So if we can keep everybody quiet, we've got hands over mouths, like people are screaming. We had the corpsman got shot through tib fib, shattered his leg. Matty got shot through the brachial artery, hit his humerus and shattered that, and it flipped over the back of his neck. And I remember, because we talked about it later and it made sense, he looked very confused at one point, in between dragging the corpsman back, and he said he was looking for his arm. When it broke, it snapped and went over his neck, and he looked down and just saw this. Couldn't see it. I mean, there's no moonlight. You can't see anything. You can't see under nods right there. It's just gone. You look down and there's a stump there. So he doesn't know. He's been shot in the leg. Jay's been shot in the leg and the side plates. I think he took a double stack to the elbow, so it blew out his entire arm. And then he took one to the face that basically removed his jaw, removed his nose, and you could look inside him. It was as bad as it could have been. So we get them back and we go into TCCC mode. Tourniquets on there, we're packing wounds, we're doing that, and thank God for that course. I don't know where we'd be without that. The live tissue training and all that. That was, I was so prepared for that. We were in and out of that blowout kit so fast. And I joke with Matty about it. He was, I put the tourniquet on him, he was begging for me to stop. I was like, two more turns. Finally got the blood to stop. I mean, I had my fingers inside his arm, feeling out that thing. The medics working on Jay and the corpsman, putting on tourniquets, pressure dressings, all that. And I remember having a distinct conversation with Matty. He's begging me for quick clot. He's like, quick clot, over and over and over. remember from talking to the surgeons during the training, he's like, if you dump quick clot in there, the only way to remove it is to cut it out. And it's inside of his bicep. And I mean, to me, I have the bleeding stopped. I have it under control. And I'm not pouring quick clot in you because they're going to have to cut it out of you. Like, I'm saving you. You're not dying here. Like, you don't need that quick clot. We had a bunch of hemostatic dressings. Like, I'm packing this thing. It's fine. And he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. So I told him, yeah. And I grabbed a thing of quick clot. And I mean, this is underneath a tractor tire where rounds are coming over. I was like, I've got it. And I pretended like I did it. And I went like that. And he's like, thank you so much. So yeah, you never got quick clot.
Man, that's crazy. This is hectic. It's terrible, the situation that they're in. The fact that DJ can still find and that they're still able to find those opportunities to have a bit of a laugh, or laugh about it after, not during it. But no doubt he would have been thinking. Clearly, he's coherent, skilled, understands the situation, understands what he's doing, understands not only that immediate situation and the impact that it's having and the fact that he stopped the bleeding, but the ongoing impact if he does pack it with quick clot, because one of his best mates, if not his best mate, is asking him for it, and he knows. So love the fact that he's done what he's done, clearly cognizant and understands the situation completely, and has done an awesome job. But man, this is crazy. I've just taken in by everything that he's talking about, and as he was going, and it just seemed to be flowing. So I didn't want to, even though I'd gone over, it was well over 30 minutes, I didn't want to stop it at that stage. But there was a quick pause now after they've had a little bit of a laugh, a bit of a lighter moment on it. So I'll wrap this one up here and I'll come back and do another reaction. But this is still just in his second deployment. But man, incredible. The level of the work, and the guys getting shot, the arm getting shot and flipped over the back of his head or over his shoulder. He didn't know where it was. Getting hit, dropped, getting back up, dragging again, the corpsman. The heart, the courage, the bravery, the list of words goes on in terms of trying to describe what those individuals and what was happening that night. And I love how DJ spoke about the bravest thing he's ever seen, and some of the stuff that was happening, like he said, just like in the movies, with some of that particular situation that was happening. Not that that's what they're wanting to have happen, but man, find out who you are, eh? As I listen to this, people find out who they are in those hard times, that fight, flight, freeze. Grateful that there's people like that, like these people, and many others in and around in the Defence Forces in New Zealand, in Australia, in the UK, clearly in the US and Canada, and other places that are friendly to the Five Eyes. It's just amazing people, man. And I have a lot of respect and admiration for them, and what they put themselves through and what they go through, and the opportunities that I have and that we have to learn from them, and their experiences and their vulnerability, their willingness to share some of the very difficult, challenging, heartbreaking times that they've been through. It's it is a real privilege for me to stand today. I've been standing today in the last couple to stand and listen and hear and feel and observe what they're talking about, and try to connect and take what learnings I can from that, and then also sprinkle in my 2 cents in terms of what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, my reaction, for those that may take some time to stop by. So that's enough from me. It's on 40 minutes now. In closing, appreciate everybody that, again, that gives of their time to spend some time on this channel, on my channel, and to hear my thoughts for what it's worth, my 2 cents. Grateful for people like the Shawn Ryan Show, grateful for people like DJ and his team, and just really grateful that they take the time to share their experiences, their lived experience, for our benefit and to help us and give us a bit of an insight and understanding. So with that being said, as always, anybody out there going through any challenges, difficulties, hard times, trials, You know, better days are ahead. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. There are good things to come. I don't know when those will happen, but they will happen. So just keep turning up, stay in the fight, put one foot in front of the other, go always a little further. And as always, remember, who dares wins. Until the next video,